Hi folks, this is Shelley DeLint with Shelley DeLint Media. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am here today and I'm doing a series on the book of Proverbs, and we are into chapter 2. And I've already done the first part where I went from verses 1 to 9. And in this chapter, in chapter 2, we talk about 3 different paths that we could take, okay? And the first path was about walking with God, and you can check out that in a prior video, okay? So right now we're going to go into the second walk, okay, that people can take, okay? And it's not really a good walk, folks, because it's called walking with the wicked, okay? And this is verses from 10 to 19, and in these verses here we meet what is called the evil man and the immoral woman. And I'm going to start off here and I'm going to say this, it's not just evil men today or immoral women, okay? It's there's evil men and there's evil women, okay? Let's start with that first, okay? We'll start with the evil man and the evil woman, okay? Today in society, folks, doesn't matter, right? You know, there's people out there that just want to get ahead. They don't care about who they hurt. There's just evil intentions within them. And, you know, I can tell a little story about something. The store where I work was previously owned by another company, okay? And the company that used to look after this store, one of the managers actually that worked there knew that I was a Christian, and because of my faith in God, he actually told me, he said, you know, Shelley, you are never going to advance in this company because, and I'm like, well, why? You know, why? I do my job. I'm always on time and everything. And, you know, I'm not one for missing work. And I'm like, all for the company. Why would I not advance? Because you believe in God, and because you believe in God and you stand up for good, you will never advance. That was what was told to me, folks, by a manager. And when he left, I thought, okay, well, you know, it's a new manager, new whatever. And sad to say that the next manager that came in there, he was worse than the one that had actually left, because he was just something else, okay? And he set a plot actually out to get rid of me. And what he had done was he actually hired in another person, which was a woman. And when he hired her in, unbeknown to me at the time, she was to take my position in my job and try to make life so bad for me that I would actually quit. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, to talk about hell on earth, I went through hell on earth, okay? It was just nasty. Like, every day was always something. Just could never seem to get ahead. And you may say, well, why in the world did you stay there? And it's like this, you know, when you're up and you're in your late 40s, it's just like, you don't want to be always starting something new. And at this place, I had a pension and I didn't want to leave it. And I was going through other things in my personal life, so I wasn't like I could just up and leave this company, right? And the one thing I can say in respect to this lady was, at the end of it, when she left, she actually did come back to me and she said, you know, Shelley, I want to apologize for my behavior and for how I treated you. But she said, I wanted your job so bad that I was willing to go and do whatever it took to get your job. And she said, and they hired me, she said, for that, right? And I mean, I was just Lord, and you know, folks, it happens everywhere. we look and we hear a lot today about bullying in the schools and stuff like that. Well, bullying is in the workplace. I mean, it's rampant in the workplace. People are trying to advance and get ahead, and they don't care who they're stepping on to do it. It's just the way it is. And, you know, God is telling us, you know, that we need to stay away really from people like that, right? The next one it goes into is the immoral woman. And you know, same thing here. It's not just a woman. There's men out there too who will do anything, you know, to entice a woman away from her husband. If a woman is out and she's having a hard time with her family, there's men out there that will try to do that, and they don't care if they're married themselves. They don't care, you know, and it's the same way with women, right? And, you know, the Bible tells us that, and it refers here to the immoral woman, and it can be the same thing for a man. It says that the woman, she's a seductress, and she flatters with her words, right? You know, and it's like, you know, the old saying says the grass is not always greener on the other side. And I would say that that's totally true, because, you know, yeah, I've walked this path. I haven't been the one that did it, but my ex did, right? You know, and I have forgiven him. I really have. It is what it is. You can't change it. You know, the devil likes to put things in our path that makes things look so good, right? And, you know, if you're going through things in life, and when you have teenagers, and when you have issues going on, and life is just happening around you, sometimes, you know, temptation just comes in. It can come in for a man with a different woman, or a woman with a different man, and then everything is like, okay, you can pretend, you know, it's all great, but, you know, really it's still all there, right? You know, and what the Bible says, it says, for those who go to her house, okay, the path leads to destruction, and those who go there never return, right? And they lose the path to life. And, you know, I think when it says that you lose the path to life there, yeah, it's the path to life, but why you can never return is, like, you know, when there is an affair and there's an adulterous situation, it's a hurt of the heart for the other person. The person who's out there who's committing this, okay? If you're married, you're destroying your life. You're destroying it's not just your marriage, it's your family. And for the person who's left behind, it's a hurt of the heart that's so deep, right? And, you know, if a person dies, you know why, you know, if your spouse dies, okay, whether it's an accident or through sickness, well, then you can explain it. But when there's an affair and you're just left, it's like a hurt of the heart. It's like, it's worse than death, right? You know, because with death, you have an answer as to why. But with when there's an affair, and you could be the one, like, you know, you're going around, you're thinking life is just great, and then all of a sudden you're the last one to hear, okay, of what's really happening. And, you know, lots of things in life, I know from my own thing here, lots of things in life. Life is life, and life happens, and it's not pretty, right? You know, it's complicated. We're busy, we're tired, we're working. Today, in most homes, you have the man and the woman who are working. And it takes a toll on everyone. So, and with this, there's a verse here in 2 Timothy, okay? And it talks about, this is for the last days and what people will go through, okay? This is the day, folks, and the hour that we're living in. It says, For men, okay, I'm going to say man or woman here, okay? For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blaspheming, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying its power. And it says, from such people turn away. So, you know, folks, we really have to watch who we're keeping company with. You know, we talked about this, about avoiding bad company in the chapter previous. And it's really important to God because He's saying the same thing here. We're only in chapter 2 and He's repeating Himself again. Stay away from bad company. Watch who you're associating with and be careful of what you're doing because, you know, Satan is out and he wants to set traps for us. He wants nothing better than to destroy our lives, okay? His whole thing is to take us out, to take us away from God, to make us miserable. And like I said, the big thing is to take our souls, take us away from God. Anyway, folks, this is Shelley DeLitt with Shelley DeLitt Media. Please watch the other videos in this. I have more content coming about going through the book of Proverbs, and I hope that you'll stay with me and go through this. It's a lot of great information coming. Anyway, this is Shelley DeLitt with Shelley DeLitt Media. I pray God's blessings upon you, and take care, folks, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.